What's up, YouTube? Today I have a watch that I've had for a couple of years. I never did a video or anything on it, but I am actually preparing to send it in for service and hopefully a restoration. So I thought it'd be a good time to at least document kind of the current condition. And just, I don't know, talk about it a little bit. It's a pretty cool watch, and you don't see very many of them. What I have here is a Heuer Carrera 510 511. This is one of the Lemania based Carreras. You can see it's got a cushion case, very reminiscent of the 70s, early 80s. And I believe this watch is from the early 80s. I think it was one of, if not the last, Heuer pre-tag Carrera models. So as you can see, it has that Lemania 5100 layout, where it has the 24-hour totalizer up at the top, the running seconds over here on 9 o'clock, and then it has the 60-minute counter and the seconds counter for the chrono, going around the dial versus a sub-dial. I'm not sure if this has any juice in it because I don't see the seconds hand running, but this is a cool watch that I've had for a long time, and I had always wanted to bring it back to kind of as close to new condition as I could. There we go. Because it does have some pretty significant wear on it. You can see gashes and chips in the PVD, as well as some damage to the dial there. So it had always been my intention to restore it, and I just never got around to it. But it's actually getting shipped off today, so it's kind of be the last chance to get it in this condition. I had it serviced a couple months back, and the functions and everything work fine. It's just they didn't. My watchmaker doesn't have kind of the capabilities to restore a case like this, and I'm not sure if Tag will either, but we will find out. You can see the seconds hand and the hour or the 60-minute counter both go around the dial, which is kind of one of the major characteristics of this movement. Also, this cool airplane style minute counter hand. It's very distinctive, and you see it on a lot of homages and other watches of the time period. I mean, when this watch was made, Breitling and Heuer and other brands like Movado even were doing similar style watches with this kind of case, this type of movement. But I think the Heuer versions are kind of the coolest and the most, I don't know, indicative of that era. So, as you can see, it is pretty beat up, and I'm hoping when it comes back it looks brand new. I'm hoping to just have everything redone. And, I used to be one of those people that thought, keep it in the original condition, but this isn't like some vintage Rolex where it's going to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, so I'd rather just get it kind of as pristine as possible, just to enjoy wearing it. What else? It has one of these really tall Hesselite crystals, so it has a really cool, vintage look, because it pretty much is a vintage watch, or at least on the cusp of what you would consider vintage. So yeah, that's my Heuer Carrera 510, 511. They make the same watch but in steel, and it looks really cool like that as well. But I've always been a big fan of PVD coatings, DLC coatings. I think it gives the watch like a really tough look, and especially on a vintage watch, because this was actually done with some function or purpose in mind. They wanted the watches to be less noticeable on the wrist for like military personnel and things like that. So anyway, hopefully the next time I do a video, this watch looks very different. Thanks.